Welcome, everyone. Welcome again to our latest webinar, Navigating the Future of Recruitment with Automated Employment Referencing. Before I introduce myself, let me get some admin issues out of the way. And yes, we're recording this session, so we'll have a video recording available within a few days for those who couldn't make it. I'll have a quick look at the attendees list. Yes, it's growing. Okay, today we're focusing on the employment referencing revolution. How this has become such an important topic in modern hiring. The goal today is to introduce you to our brand new staff vetting check called Automated Employment Referencing, designed to save you valuable time every week. My name is Reza Karimi, and I'm your host for today's webinar. I'm one of the relationship managers here at Team Amiqus. So let's talk about employment referencing and how it can be sometimes a hassle. It involves a lot of paperwork and time-consuming tasks like emailing candidates, contacting references, and following up with non-responsive people. These processes can cause delays in hiring processes and potentially make candidates choose other job offers. On top of that, using outdated email systems create problems. Important information can get lost in busy email inboxes or sometimes go unnoticed when colleagues are away and leave. And there's also the concern of keeping data safe and secure. But don't worry, we have a solution for you. You can simplify and modernize your employment referencing by using the new automated referencing within our user-friendly platform. This helps you save time, keeping all the information in one place and make sure data is transmitted securely. By making these changes, you can speed up the referencing processes, improve hiring outcomes, and create a better experience for job candidates. So as I said, our goal with this new check we've developed is to help you streamline your hiring processes and essentially eliminate lengthy hours of admin. We know this can eat up hours every week. And by introducing this new check, we hope to kind of automate and streamline this process. So using automated employment referencing, you say goodbye to email exchanges and attachments, and all you need to do is send a request directly to your candidate. From there, the applicants will receive a form where they enter their referee's contact details. Amiqus will then send out a secure and mobile-friendly questionnaire directly to their referees. On top of that, you also have the option of verifying your candidate's identity quickly and easily via our built-in digital address and photo ID verification, where you can digitally verify any UK address if the candidates are based in the UK. As part of the webinar, I'm planning to do a short demo where you can see kind of firsthand how this solution works. And before I jump into doing the demo, I'd like to give everyone a few minutes, if that's okay. And if they have any questions, they can kind of pop it in the question box, and I can perhaps tailor part of the demo based on those questions. Not to forget to mention, by the way, we have a limited time offer just for you, just for that attendees. Today, I won't spoil the surprise. You'll have to stick around until the end of the webinar to find out how to claim it. So without further ado, if there are any questions, I can quickly answer. yes. 2 questions. Yeah. Can you tell us the cost of doing this feature? Is it per reference? Yes, I can tell you the cost. The cost is 4 credits per candidate. This is kind of regardless of the number of references. We kind of decided against charging individual references, so there are no additional charges if the candidate has, for example, a large number of references. Take this one. How long does the process take? Okay, so the process of setting up your account takes roughly 5 to 10 minutes for our colleagues. And you can, reach out to support@amicus.co, and we can get that easily set up within 5 to 10 minutes, starting from today. There are obviously dependencies depending on the number of, for example, templates that you want to set up, if there are any specific requirements as part of the building up that check within your system. So it might take slightly longer, but 5 to 10 minutes usually is the kind of the turnaround for our team. Sending requests takes, I would say, 1 minute, and the references kind of process instantly in real time. So you get information as candidates answering those within the system. The entire process, if I understood the answer correctly, roughly, I would say in average takes 36 hours. So we've seen an average of kind of full reference reports within 36 hours. But again, it really depends on how many other checks you have set up as part of the referencing process. So yeah, I don't know if I answered that question correctly. And one more question. I'll take one more question, but I'm always happy to take questions after webinars, and we can kind of send those questions to our support team, and they can send them to me. I'll take this question. Can we review the referee details, for example, their email address, before it goes out to them? Yes, of course. Absolutely, you can. I believe the term, I think perhaps take a part of the webinar, the demo, to show you how it's done. You enable to review reference details before sending. I believe if you take that option within the flow, then you can essentially put a pause in the process and review those details before it goes to referees. So yes, short answer is yes. Cool. What I would do now is I stop sharing and reshare my screen again and go over the demo for you very quickly. Bear with me for a moment. I'll still log in to our demo account. Okay, so as part of the suite of checks, you now have the option to request employment referencing automatically by email. It's quick and easy to send a request. And as I said, the kind of fully automated process eliminate those lengthy email trails and manual chasing. To start, you log into your account, you start a new request and select here at the very bottom, employment referencing. So you can configure the request to meet your specific requirement. You can choose the number of years from 1 year to 10 years here. And you can also kind of set the length of any employment gaps that require evidence as part of kind of the automated referencing. Going back to the top, this is the kind of option that I touched on earlier. You can take that, so you review reference details before it goes to the referees. And by enabling that, pause in the process to kind of review those email addresses if you want to have a look before automatically it goes out to clients. And finally, in this part, you can also kind of make employment or education evidence any sort of activity a requirement for your candidates. This will allow you to automatically collect P60s, pay slips, certificates, for example, and that kind of saves you to request them manually later. But as all of with our Amiqus check, you can kind of save these configuration, any configuration that you have set internally as your, for example, HR policy and wider checks into a custom template, which you can later on load by a single click, and you don't have to customize these requests each time. I'm just kind of, for the purpose of demo, I'm explaining these as we go along. But every configuration that we did today, you can save that, and all you need to do later on to, for example, choose a person. If you have that as a kind of existing file, if not, you can kind of create that individual, and all you need to do is to load that template, and all of these options will automatically be added as part of that automated referencing. I'll untick this part, so I'm going to have to upload multiple evidence. And as with any of our checks, you can attach any documents, you can request any documents as part of the flow. It doesn't have to be as part of the automated referencing. You can upload any forms. And when it comes to, for example, custom forms, we've also integrated within our automated referencing. You can include a form. And this form is specifically for referees. You can kind of tailor the questions for different job roles or specific even candidates. So, for example, if I have questions for references, this will kind of have multiple questions for references that you would like to be added as part of that automated referencing. You can choose to have a message, and this is kind of the welcome message that you have, for example, recruitment offers. We'll load that as an example message, and this will be the kind of the initial message the candidates will receive. And you can choose to do that whether by email or in person, for example. If I may to touch on our custom forms before I kind of send that request, just to kind of cover all bases. As I said, you can create the forms within our custom forms form builder. If I, for example, have a look at an example here I've created earlier. So I've named this for questions for references. You can add descriptions for transparency. And if you wish to kind of to have any kind of questions built well kind of around the character of that person, you can always come here and with the drag and drop builder, kind of the nature of drag and drop builder, kind of it helps you create that form easier. It includes open-ended, single choice, multiple choice questions, and the kind of customizable nature of it will help you create a well-rounded character profile of the candidate, as opposed to kind of simply collecting factual details and a kind of start date and end date about their employment. For example, if you wish to ask the referees to rate the candidate's timekeeping skills, or ask if they are aware of any candidate's reason for leaving their current employment, the form builder, this is where the form builder comes into play, and it's quite straightforward to use it. You can mark the questions as optional or required, and you have the option to provide, as I said, description for each question, kind of perhaps provide context and transparency as to why you're asking for a piece of information, or simply to provide further instructions to the referees to make sure you get that information right, if you'd like them to explain, in a few words, why, in what. You can also build conditional logics, and we call it kind of smart logic, conditional logic, smart logic, into the forms, meaning if you're providing, providing a different set of questions depending on the previous answer. For example, you could ask if the candidate has ever been off from work on a long-term leave. If the answer is yes, then you could then ask kind of further questions about the duration and a reason. If the answer is no, or I don't know, you can kind of move on to follow-up questions without, asking those logical kind of questions that follows up, depending on the answer. It kind of keeps the process easy for referees while providing you with more specific quantitative information to help you kind of make informed hiring choices. I'll keep this, simple, take off the description requires, and I've kind of already added this form to my request. I'll go ahead and do this in person, just for the purpose of demo, and you can kind of see the costing, the question about costing. You can see the costing that you have as part of any request here at the very bottom. You can see that this request will use 4 credits, and this is for the sole purpose of doing automated employment reference. So I go ahead and create that. We've created now the reference request. You can, send this to your candidate in person or via email and add your custom message to it. For the purpose of demo, I'm doing this kind of in person, but this is what essentially what the email, the link to that automated referencing will show for the candidate. So we're kind of following the candidate journey to start with. They can complete the request on a desktop, mobile, or any other internet-enabled device. You have that welcome message in front of you. They're requested to submit the following information. They naturally start by filling their personal details, because I've already added kind of my details in the system. You can see that, and if there was a middle name, I can correct that and add that in. The address has been added, email address, mobile number, and so on and so forth. If any of these information are missing, the candidate can go and add those in. And they only need to do that once if you're, for example, adding any other checks to the request. For example, if you had digital address verification or photo ID verification, the candidates will only add those information once. They don't need to have completed over and over again. Again, another kind of prompt to explain what they will need to prepare if they don't have that information, handy. It will kind of prompt them how many years of employment they need to provide, and any kind of, if you have requested any supporting evidence to be added, and any, for example, gaps of 2 weeks. This is kind of configured by us earlier on in the process. So now they start by adding activities to build their employment history timeline. Let's go ahead here and add an employment. uh, names, start and end date. And then you have a specific reason for leaving. For example, progression. And then kind of they'll start completing the check by adding their referee's details. I'll add my email so I can show you how does that look like. Was this role connected by agency? No. And if there was any supporting evidence, I can, add that in. And as I complete the check, you can kind of see this updated figure here showing how much more of their kind of analyst history they need to provide to kind of fulfill your initial requirements of 3 years that we're going to set there. And this is kind of ensures that you receive a detailed history while saving the candidates from filling in any kind of more than they need to. You can see the details of the referees. You can also kind of request that the referee isn't contacted. So here we can see the details of, for example, referees that we've added here. And you can again go and add another employment for that 1 year and 20 days. I'll add here 2020. Let's say I'm still here just for the purpose of them. And here you can kind of set the contact date, for example, for the referee. If I want to kind of delay that, kind of, I can delay that until I actually reach out to my line manager, let's say, let them know, or the time that I have given kind of my notice, I want it to be after that time. But kind of for the purpose of demo, I'll just put today's date. And save. So you can see kind of here we've built the history timeline. There are no gaps. If there was any gaps, it will kind of prompt us. If there was any overlapping dates, it will kind of prompt us to kind of correct those, and I can go back and edit those within this kind of stage. In this kind of final step of the check, the candidates, they need to confirm that they agree for the referees to be contacted, and they provide sort of consent for the referees to confirm their details, their employment details. This is we've added this as an extra layer of transparency where candidates will also kind of see the questions, that you remember the questions we earlier on added, they're showing the questions. So they're aware of this is a question that referees are asked for. Confirm, submit, and continue. So we concluded that candidate journey. We can now move on to referee confirmation and have a look at that. If I refresh the page, yeah, Oh, so I'm refreshing. I'm expecting to receive an email. If you remember, we've put a pause in the process that we want to see those details before it goes actually to referees. So we need to confirm that before it actually goes out to them. I was expecting to receive that instantly. So this is essentially kind of us pausing that a process. Yeah, we can have a look and say, yes, Reza has provided, some details. I'm happy with the referee details. Now I can go ahead and send that request to the referees. And same here. Now, if I go back and refresh the demo, I can see the two emails. That was basically sent to two separate, referees, the details of the employment, and I kind of asked them to confirm the candidate's factual, employment details and report any incorrect details before it progresses to any questions you've set up in the custom forms. So if I go ahead and hit yes, it present work Amiqus. That also is yes. Was the job title account manager? You can kind of correct that and say no, it was relationship manager. And this will show when we look at the report. Did their employment start from this date to this date? You can say no, it started from a different date. For the purpose of demo, we'll just hit yes and continue. And this is where we set that custom form that we've created earlier. And they go ahead and pick Reza's time keeping skills. And any other questions, we've touched on custom forms. You can create custom questions with using multiple choice answers, and creating that kind of smart logic where the questions are not relevant, they're not asked. So we go ahead and submit that. Now, let's jump back into the platform to review the results for example, for one of the references, because we're still waiting for the other one. They're both sent to the same email. You can see here the referee confirmed with corrections. I've corrected the job title from account manager to relationship manager. Any kind of dates in the discrepancies will show here. We can see the email history when it was delivered, and also the form response here. So you can approve or reject employment. You can cancel the request from here. For example, if the candidate dropped out of the process, the referee would also be automatically kind of notified that they don't need to complete their end of the check before it actually goes. Now we've completed, for example, for this exercise. And once the referee is provided the reference, you can review these as if instantly in your account. Results are delivered in real time. You don't need to wait for all the referees to complete the request before reviewing the results. And you can kind of see the live information in a way, whereas with emails sometimes you need to wait for candidates to complete their part, and there's also kind of corrections and things like that from the referee parts. So I'll go ahead and approve, for example, this employment. If I needed to upload any evidence that I've received, by email or any other documents, I can come here and upload those here within this functionality. And we also have the forms that can be added if you have any specific forms that need to be added that you didn't include that as part of the request and you wanted to later on to add those. You can easily add that. And the activities tab it gives you a really kind of good overview of if there were any emails, for example, bounced when the request was started. You can kind of see that within the overview of each activity as well. So you can kind of see the email history, email was delivered, it was in balance at the time, and when it was. And if you want to go to have a look at the kind of more detailed overview of that, this is where you would use the activity tab. You could also add a note. So if you're, for example, multiple colleagues working on a particular case, having multiple conversations, they can each update each other using the notes function here within the activity tab. So I think I covered everything. So we've looked at, this was a very kind of quick, demo. We've covered the candidate journey, we've covered the referee part, and we've also kind of looked at how the results would look like. I'll go back to my slides. And so this is the limited time offer I talked about earlier. To claim this exclusive offer, which runs from today, 21st of March, until the 8th of April, you can reach out to our support team. This is support@amicus.co. They will activate that for your account. Please bear that in mind that you have until the kind of 8th of April to use the credits. So this is 25 free automated employment referencing check, 100 credits, and doubled exclusively for this webinar. So up to 200 credits, potentially if you're running multiple references per day, and you have roughly around just over 2 weeks to use that offer. You can reach out to my colleagues at support@amicus.co to claim that offer. And any questions that you have about this particular check, do let them know. My apologies if I missed anything. I'd be more than happy, to answer any questions or even demo it once again to you and your team. You can request a live demo with your email to the support team. You can request them on our website as well. But yeah, I hope I covered everything that you were hoping to see as part of our webinar today. If there was any questions, as I said, please feel free to reach out to my colleagues at support. They'll keep me informed about any of your questions. Thank you again for taking the time to attend today's webinar. I hope to see you at the next one. Thank you.